Today, we are diving into a really remarkable corner of the world. It's a place where every single glass of wine tells a story of a unique land, an ancient culture, and a history of pure resilience. So get ready, we're exploring the Basque Country.
This quote right here really says it all, doesn't it? We're not just talking about grapes and barrels. We're about to step into a world where everything, the culture, the history, the winemaking, it's all woven together. So let's go. Let's explore those green hills and coastal villages and find the cellars where the soul of this land is bottled.
Okay, so before we even pop a single cork, we've got to understand the place itself. Because in the Basque Country, you can't separate the wine from the culture. It's a direct reflection of a people and a place that is just fiercely, wonderfully unique. I mean, just look at this. We're talking about a place that's practically its own world. Their language, Euskara, it's a total linguistic mystery. It has no known relatives anywhere on Earth. The landscape is this dramatic collision of green mountains and the wild Atlantic Ocean. And the culture? Well, it's defined by mind-blowing food, ancient traditions, and a history of unbelievable resilience. You really have to get the spirit of this land first to truly appreciate the wine. All right, let's get to the main event. If there's one wine that is the Basque Country in a glass, it's gotta be this one. Chakli. First things first, how do you even say it? It's Chakli. So what is it exactly? Well, imagine the most zippy, refreshing wine you've ever had. It's almost always white, totally bone dry, with this super high, mouth-watering acidity, and often this awesome little spritz to it. It's pretty much the Atlantic coast in a bottle. So when you pour a glass, what are you gonna get? Well, stick your nose in, and you get this explosion of citrus, like lemon and grapefruit and crisp green apple. Then you take a sip, and bam, that signature acidity just wakes up your entire mouth. But here's the real kicker, the finish. You often get this salty mineral character, almost like a sea breeze. It's light, low in alcohol, and just screams for food. Now hold on, not all Chakali is the same. There are actually 3 official regions. Let's break it down. Guitarriaco is your classic style, right on the coast, super dry, super fizzy. Then you've got Biscayco, which is a bit more diverse. You can find some styles with a little more body and complexity. And finally, Arabico. It's the newest region, it's further inland, and it produces wines that are often more structured and less bubbly. So what's the secret ingredient here? Well, it all comes down to these really unique local grapes. The absolute hero of the story is Hondurabi Zuri. That's the white grape. It has this naturally high acidity that is the absolute backbone of white Sakali. Now, its red cousin, Hondurabi Beltza, is way rarer, but it's used to make these really cool, light-bodied red and rosé versions. So the big question is, why? Why do these wines taste like this? The answer, as it so often is in the world of wine, comes down to one magic word, terroir. It's that whole unique combination of climate, soil, and geography that makes a wine taste the way it does. And this phrase right here, the terroir is the recipe, I mean, that says it all. In the Basque Country, the environment isn't just an influence on the wine. It is the wine. It's the whole recipe from start to finish. So what are the ingredients in this recipe? First up, you have the Atlantic Ocean itself. It brings tons of rain and humidity, which actually slows down ripening and locks in that incredible acidity. Second, the mountains. They act like a giant shield, and the steep slopes give the vines the sun and drainage they desperately need to survive in this damp climate. And finally, you have this wild mix of soils. It's a tough place to be a grape, for sure, but that struggle is exactly what makes the wine so special and so unique. Okay, you simply cannot talk about Basque wine without talking about Basque food. It's just impossible. This wine was practically born to be on the table next to the region's unbelievable cuisine. They're inseparable. Which, of course, brings us to the most important question of all. How do you actually enjoy this stuff? How do the locals do it? What's the secret? The answer is, with just about everything from the sea and the land there, that high acidity is like the ultimate reset button for your palate. It's perfect for cutting through the richness of pinchos, those amazing Basque tapas. And with seafood, forget about it. Oysters, grilled fish, anchovies, that salty note in the wine just sings when you pair it with something from the ocean. And get this, there's even a special way to pour it.
The traditional method is called escanciado, and it involves pouring the chacali from way up high, high above the glass. It looks like a bit of theater, but there's a real reason for it. It gets air into the wine and wakes up that subtle fizz, making it even more aromatic and lively. It's dinner and a show all in one. So to finish up, let's talk about the incredible journey of this wine, because this isn't just a story about winemaking. It's a story of survival, of ancient roots, of near extinction, and a totally inspiring comeback. As you can see here, winemaking in this region goes way, way back, probably even before the Romans showed up. It was kept alive through the Middle Ages by monks in monasteries. But then, in the late 1800s, disaster. A tiny pest called phylloxera wiped out almost all the vineyards. Chacali almost vanished. Seriously. It took until the late 20th century for a small group of passionate producers to start the painful work of bringing it back. And now, with official wine regions, its comeback is complete. So, what does the future hold? Well, it's not all smooth sailing. That tough Atlantic climate means winemakers have to be constantly on their toes. And let's be honest, it's a niche wine in a very crowded global market. But the flip side of that is, the future looks incredibly bright. There's a huge push for sustainability, producers are experimenting and creating even better wines, and wine tourism is booming. More and more people are discovering this amazing secret for themselves. Which leaves us with this final question, because as we've seen, Chacoli is so much more than just a wine. It's a taste of the sea, the mountains, and the incredible, resilient spirit of the Basque people. It really is the soul of the region in a glass. The only thing left to ask is, are you ready to taste it for yourself?